Good morning. You're watching AIM on Air, where specialising in connecting companies with its shareholders is what we do best. Hello and welcome back to AIM on Air. Shaun Day, Managing Director from Greatland, joins me today. Welcome back, Shaun.
Hi, Liam, and thanks for having me on AIM on Air again.
Not a problem. Always a pleasure. Hey, we've got you on today because Greatland has released their new independently reviewed resource estimate guidance, and it's increased the indicated and inferred tonnage by 29% to 8.4 million ounces equivalent from the 2022 indications. You must be pleased to update the market with this information finally.
Yeah, look, really pleased. We undertook to update the market in the December quarter. I appreciate we left it, a little bit later. It was always going to be late in the December quarter. And remember, this was in a reaction to Newcrest, for whatever confluence of reasons, not being able to get their intended update. There was some 80,000 metres of drilling that had been performed. We thought it was important to get that out to shareholders, and we're pleased we're able to do it within the time frame we had and complete an independent review of that with SRK. We engaged with Newmont, importantly as well, just in terms of letting them know what we were doing, and that relationship's really important to us. So it's been a busy time, and the team led by Michael Thompson, a competent person, did an amazing job to achieve that.
Absolutely. One of your favourite slides in the investor deck is the one that includes the ounces per vertical metre. This has been updated now and is filling out as you suggested it would. Can you talk us through it and what is the average ounces per vertical metre now?
Yeah, so I think in the last update, there was an average of 8,000 ounces through the top 400 metres of the ore body. And then it started to walk in. And look, one of my narratives was we had on the y-axis of that chart how many metres we drilled at each vertical level. And you could see the correlation between the more we drilled at a level, the more ounces we had delineated. So there's a really strong correlation between metres drilled and ounces delineated at a JORC standard. And what I was saying is, even though it comes in at depth, we actually feel the ore body is very consistent through. We see continuation of good grade, continuation of good mineralisation. And what I was delighted about in this update is that's exactly what it's shown. We now average over 7,900 ounces per vertical metre over a full kilometre or 1,000 metres vertical extent. This ore body is a beast. It's a great result. There is some natural variation, but actually you can see it actually gets better as you go deeper again. So this is a really strong ore body, and we'll continue to do more drilling at each of those lateral levels. So this is a plus 8,000 ounces per vertical metre ore body. Particularly important, this is over a relatively compact strike length, 650 by 600 metres. So single decline access means the amount of capital to access 8,000 metres, so every vertical metre, is very low. So really low capital intensity, but also you liberate so much gold for every part of development. It also delivers this lowest quartile all-in sustaining cost. It's a great metric to understand underground ore bodies.
You can hear it. I'm almost speechless. That's just amazing. There's often confusion over indicated, inferred, proved, and probable. March 22 saw a resource estimate and reserve estimate update. I note this time only the resource was updated. Could you explain what the differences are between these, please? And when do you expect the indicated or reserve estimate to be updated?
Yeah, look, we're updating the resource, and there's always a natural sequence here. You do the update of the resource. That's done effectively by a resource geologist, so a geology team. They then pass it across to the mine planning team, which is mining engineers, that then update the mine plan. And it's a more integrated process, but fundamentally, this is the passage of the information from geologists to mining engineers. So I think it's worth just recapping. At the last update, we went to 6.5 million ounces, and that was about a 2 million ounce increase. We've done that again. We've actually increased it again by about 2 million ounces. I think it's a 29% increase to 8.4 million ounces. So you've really got the same amount of growth again. Often you see ore bodies tail off. This continues to grow at that same rate. Again, it just talks to the quality and the size of Havieron. A 2 million ounce or 1.9 million, I think it was, that's bigger than most ore bodies. A 1 million ounce ore body is tremendous, and that's what every mining company is looking for. We've just added 2 million ounces to take us to 8.4, and it continues to be open. And that's important to understand. This is not the end of the journey. We continue to expand. In terms of indicated and inferred, it's really a function of drill density. The more density, the higher level of confidence you can have mathematically about the content of metal. And what we've done is managed to move 5 million ounces of that into the indicated level, so the higher level of confidence. Now, indicated can also be moved into a reserve. You can't do that with inferred material. There's not enough density to have enough certainty to put it into the reserve. Indicated, you can. So that's moved from about 3 million ounces to 5 million ounces. So that's a huge increase. And it talks about the continued, not just growth of the ore body, but the greater level of confidence. So that's really important. So really, these updates not only increase the size of the ore body, but increase the confidence and gave us a platform to deliver more reserve. And again, I talked about ounces per vertical metre of being one of the great elements of our ore body. The second great element is the conversion of indicated into reserve. The last update of the mine plan, 86% of the of the indicated resource got upgraded into reserve. That is stunning. A normal underground ore body might be 55 to 65%. Open pits might get as high as 75%. 86% is the highest number I've seen in my career. It is extraordinary. It talks to the quality of Havieron again. And so we continue to think that we've got, particularly around the southeast crescent and now that link zone again, which I'm sure we'll talk to, which is also high grade, we've got high grade material sitting next to planned infrastructure with the decline. You're going to put mining shapes around that, and the mining polygons are what you're going to extract, but a very high proportion of that we continue to expect will convert across. So this should be positive from a resource perspective, going to 8.4 million ounces at Havieron, but that increase in indicated lays the guidelines as to what that reserve can look like. So it's exciting. It's a huge positive of the update.
That's really well done there. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. Being market sensitive, you'd not be able to give specifics on forward-looking statements. But you know me, I like to try my luck with these things. Are you able to offer guidance with the company's expectations, or perhaps, for want of a better word, what goals are when it comes to converting these resources into reserves?
Look, it's a great question. It's the $64 question. I've got to be a little bit measured here, but so I'll probably reference back, Liam, and sorry to do this, but to my last answer, and just say, look, at the last time we were able to convert 86%. Again, that is remarkable for an ore body, and the circumstances that allowed us to do that, high grade, sitting next to the decline infrastructure, is what drove such a high conversion rate. And all of that applies to this ore body as we continue to add ounces at the lateral levels but also as we continue to add ounces at depth, and particularly into that indicated category, because that's the high grade material. So, it's certainly a great guide, and the guide I personally use as to looking at what can be done here.
That's fair. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Within the notes, I see that Newmont has not reviewed or approved this data set. Is that intentional? And will it have any effect on the relationship?
Look, it was absolutely intentional that we came out unilaterally with the update. We felt our shareholders would like to know this information. We felt 80,000 metres of drilling was material. Indeed, that has proven to be the case with the 8.4 million ounce update. So we explained to our shareholders that we were, when it wasn't done in August, that we would undertake to do this. So it was always intended to be a Greatland update. As you remember, we did an update in March 2022 under different circumstances. And then later, Newcrest came out, I think, say 3-4 months later, with its own resource update, which was virtually identical. I think the Newcrest update was 1% higher, but we thought that added to the credibility of our team. And this, again, is exactly the same process we did that. We used the same ore bodies, same intercepts, same methodology. We brought in SRK on both occasions to do an independent review. And we shared it with our joint venture partner, not to extract a sign-off or consent, but because we want to be a good joint venture neighbour. And that's really the case again here. So, look, we think we navigated that whilst maintaining a really positive and warm relationship with Newmont, and we're really delighted to welcome them to the joint venture. But this is a Greatland update, and indeed, Newmont are US based, so we'll ultimately do their updates under US legislation as well.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's switch the focus to our own board for a moment. Are they happy to have got this delivered to market, and has it met their expectations?
Yeah, look, the answer to both those questions is yes. It's been a real focus for us to get it out. It's a really significant undertaking, and then we double up on that with the peer review, with the independent expert review. It's really good to have achieved it. And I think in terms of the outcome, to my mind, this is at the high end of the outcome range. To continue an ore body that post 6.5 million ounces continues to grow at the same rate, is phenomenal. We should celebrate that. So absolutely, it meets and exceeds expectations.
Wonderful, thank you. Newmont are expected to update the global reserves in February. This will, in the event of Havieron being included in this, trigger Greatland to notify the market of this information. Would we as a company use that as our timeline for resources and reserve updates going forward?
Well, again, just as we talked about earlier, there is an ordinary sequence of events which will be applied by Newmont just as it will be applied by Greatland and virtually any other mining company, which is they will do the resource. They will then subsequently run a process to update the mine plan. So theirs will also be an update to the resource estimate, and that if they're able to do that in February, that's great. And we will be supportive and contribute that to the extent we can be helpful. But theirs will be exactly the same. And then I think it's probably really useful for people to understand the reserve will be updated when the feasibility study is released in 2024. That will be the opportunity for the reserve update. But you do get this sneak peek at what that will look like by looking at the indicated category. And that's why I think you were correct to ask that question about the categories. And that's why I've pointed to it a little bit during this conversation, is about the indicated, and our historic ability to convert that is is nothing less than outstanding at Havieron. And to my mind, at least, based on the information I have right now, there's a reasonable expectation that can continue to be the case. 86% is extraordinarily high, but that ballpark is a great guide for something of the quality of Havieron.
That's to me given some great clarity. So thank you very much for that. So hopefully that's cleared that up for a lot of people that are asking those kinds of questions. And finally, Shaun, after some well-deserved downtime over Christmas, what's next on the agenda for Shaun Day and Greatland?
Yeah, look, it's been another really significant year for us. We're delighted on the exploration front, bringing in the Rio Tinto ground, getting on to Ernest Giles. I'm excited about being able to get assays through on that and sharing them in the new year. So exploration has been tremendous. We've just done the whole interview about resource geology, which has been extraordinarily successful. On a Havieron front, we've progressed that. We've made progress, and I think we understand the future opportunity there far stronger. So we feel operationally it's been a terrific year. The site closes out the year, super busy putting in the ventilation, the fans, the vent risers, the pipe work, and really using this time as we're actively dewatering and depressurizing that lower aquifer to set us up for success in 2024 and punch through to the top of the ore body. So we feel we're set up for a pretty exciting 2024. I think no one will celebrate more reaching the top of the ore body than I will and my colleagues here at Greatland. So there's lots to do. We're excited about that. And we start the new year with a brand new joint venture partner in Newmont. They've only been with us for about 6 weeks. You should, and our shareholders should be excited about having the largest gold miner in the world as our partner. They're a quality organisation. We've probably really enjoyed the last 6 weeks getting to know them better. I did have a pre-existing relationship with them, but it's good. So, look, we're excited about the year ahead, and hopefully some of that excitement and anticipation is shared by our shareholders.
Wonderful. Thanks, Shaun. Merry Christmas to you and the team at Greatland.
Merry Christmas, Liam. Thanks very much for taking the time to catch up today. I appreciate it. And Merry Christmas for those that listen in, and of course our shareholders. It's greatly appreciate their support over the year, and we look forward to a successful 2024.
Wonderful. Until next time, my name's Liam, and you've been watching, watching AIM on Air. We're specialised in connecting companies with its shareholders is what we do best. Thank you to all of my supporters over the years, especially the Silver and Gold members who make this content possible. Happy holidays to one and all, and thank you.